Hi, my name is Wendy. I am a Donor Experience Associate here at Operation Smile headquarters.
Hi, my name is Jordan. I'm also a Donor Experience Associate at headquarters. Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Jordan.
It's wanted to catch up with you. It's been a while, and I just kind of wanted to get a little information about your journey with Operation Smile. How did you become involved with Operation Smile?
Oh gosh. I have a friend who had a baby who was born with cleft lip and cleft palate. And at the time, I was living in Houston, Texas. And I still remember the day that I talked to her on the phone and told her that my family was relocating to Virginia Beach. I had noticed online that Operation Smile had broken ground on the new building here in Virginia Beach and thought it was a sign and that I was meant to be here. They broke ground on September 23rd, which is my birthday. And so I told her, I said, I am going to work for Operation Smile. And fast forward, here I am. Turns out that that was also Dr. McGee's birthday, so there was some significance there. And because of her involvement with Operation Smile and Carter's journey, it has brought me here to be able to help other kids who do not have access to safe surgery like Carter did. So,
What an amazing journey.
yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. So, how about you? What made you want to work for Operation Smile?
I worked in retail for 8 years prior to joining the Operation Smile team. I wanted to change, I wanted to kind of give back more. I wanted to have a certain level of personal fulfillment, at the end of the day. I have a friend who told me about Operation Smile in the opening. I did a little research about Operation Smile, realized that Virginia Beach, it's located here in the backyard. It's, what an amazing opportunity for, this organization to be headquartered here in kind of a melting pot of Virginia. I learned about the work that Operation Smile does, and I knew that I wanted to be involved. I utilized the skills that I had from retail, and I apply it to my daily work. At the end of the day, I do go home with a sense of personal fulfillment, knowing that in a small way I was able to help a child,
Awesome.
and change their life.
Yeah, that's awesome. I feel that way too.
What's the most rewarding part about your job? Speaking, about personal fulfillment.
One of the things I love that I do here at Operation Smile is having the opportunity to listen to donors share why they give. And there are a lot of really moving stories that have stuck with me through the years. We have a little boy that I still have a note in my drawer. He sent his allowance in because his dad overheard him poking fun at somebody who was born different, and his dad shared with him how there are people in the world who are different who don't have opportunity to live a normal life like we do. And so he took it as an opportunity to his son to teach him a lesson, and he sent a letter to the surgeon saying, I'm so sorry, and I want to do better. Jordan, can you talk a little bit about the work that our team does here for Operation Smile?
Yeah, the donor experience team is the go-to team for everyone. We answer questions from current donors, previous donors, or those just seeking information about Operation Smile and the work we do. The donor relations team, we provide connections for those looking to be a volunteer. They're a surgical resident, or they're a surgeon, and they're looking to volunteer. They're looking to give back, and we help provide those connections or in-depth information to ensure that the donor or the donation process that our donors go through is easy and simple, and we capture all the relevant information, and the one of the things that we love to do is ask the donors why they're giving. What story has inspired them. We have the TV show, of course, and it's amazing to hear what inspires our donors to give. That the two gentlemen who want to give back in memory of this gentleman, or the little girl who is deciding that, this is something that she would like to do in lieu of birthday presents. It's truly inspiring to, hear and see, what our donors do throughout the day just to help. It's inspiring.
Tell me, what's the most challenging part of your job?
There are a few challenges. Operation Smiles donors have amazing hearts. They help children in need. They help us provide the surgery at the end of the day that could save a child's life. There are occasions when donors may call and tell us that, the gift that they made it in error, or we have a caretaker or a child of an elderly person who, you know, can't give, unfortunately, due to medication cost, or that they're not able through early onset dementia or Alzheimer's, and they need to have that gift refunded. We understand that that's a very difficult process, and then for them to ask, we want to make sure that we're able to do that as quickly as possible, and return that money to them. And then we do have occasionally some who give more than they can, and they have to call us back and ask for a partial refund or a refund. And I think the biggest thing that we can share with our donors, that I kind of bring up in calls is, whether it's $1 or $1,000, your money at the end of the day goes to help save a child's life. And we have many ways that they do that, and one of them is, if a donor passes, we have a long-time donor. We have some that's been giving since Operation Smile was founded in 1982, and they pass. Well, their family would like to make a donation in their honor, but they also need to cancel their recurring donation. We understand that's a very difficult time for them, and we want to make sure that is as quick as possible, and to capture all the relevant information. So when they begin that process of bringing in donations in memory of this donor, we're able to log that and send out the proper thank you notes to the person who gives, and also inform the family that here is their loved one who has touched someone's life halfway across the country or in the same town. Can you share a story of a supporter that has stuck with you? I know you have quite a few.
I do. There are so many stories that have come by me in the time that I have been here. One of my favorites is, we read a newspaper article about a little girl who was 10 who decided that she was going to use her birthday money and her honor roll money and just anything that she could come up with, because she wanted to donate a surgery to a child. And so I called to say thank you to the mom, and she asked if I would like to speak to her daughter. Mia Grace was 10 at the time. This was several years ago, and I was so impressed by this young woman. She is adorable. She told me that the library was next door, that she loved to read, that she loved to sew, and just made me feel like I'm not doing enough. And Mia Grace was so compassionate on the phone, and I told her that if she ever wanted to come to Virginia Beach, that I would be happy to show her around headquarters and introduce her to some folks. And not long after, I got a phone call from her mom saying that Mia Grace asked if they could do their family vacation in Virginia Beach. And so she and her family drove here. We were able to give them a tour and just be able to show her around the office, and she got to meet Dr. McGee and Kathy, and it just was a beautiful time of watching this young girl who truly has a future ahead of her to change lives. And she really feels a part of what we do, as does her family. She has continued to give and to inspire and to share what we do, and it's just a beautiful thing.
We love when we're able to show our donors the building, and the club groups that come in, the GFWC groups, and we love sharing the building and sharing our work with them. It's incredible. What do you think people should know about the work that we do around the world?
One of the things that I think is one of the most common things I hear from people who call in with questions is they ask, why doesn't this happen in the United States? Why do we only see this happening in other countries? And like I had shared before, I have a friend and a niece, actually, who have both had children born with cleft conditions. And cleft is one of the fourth most common birth defects in the United States, according to the Center for Disease Control. We have access to safe surgery here in the United States, and so we don't see people walking around with conditions like this. And so I think it's important for people to understand that no matter where a child is born, that they should have the same access to safe surgery that we have here. And so grateful for our medical volunteers and our donors who help to make that happen. I've had the pleasure to travel with Operation Smile to several different countries and to see these children, and not just the children, but the families, to see the difference that this makes in their life. When I was in China, it actually was really neat. We had a woman who was in her 40s, and so at the time she was my age, and she came in, she was born with bilateral cleft conditions, and her son was the one bringing her in. And it was so interesting to see the dynamic of, usually it's the parent so concerned for their child, and in this case it was a college-aged boy who was so worried for his mom, but we were able to treat her, and she's able to smile now with confidence and live a full life. And so really I'm just so grateful that we are able to provide these services.
Wow, that's incredible. I know that you have traveled a little bit with Operation Smile and been able to escort corporate donors from J&J and a few other places, and the stories that you come back with of seeing it firsthand and how it completely changes the child's life and the adult's life on occasion. It's inspiring.
It's a privilege. It really is a privilege, and it's life-changing for me as well.
Hi, I'm Laura.
Hi, I'm Allie.
Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Behind the Smiles. We love that you're taking the time to learn more about the work we're doing to help children born with cleft around the world.
And if you'd like to donate or volunteer, make sure to check out the links in the description box below.
Don't forget to answer this week's question in the comments down below.
And subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss a video. We post every other Wednesday.